putting them on game. Letting them know what's going on. Like, see, this what's happening. Like, you feel me? I'm letting these guys know. So when it be like people saying they want to fight me, it's
like, how could you, nigga? I was the one that was giving you game when I was going through it.
There was some kind of crazy trash talk with Gervonta and Terrence Crawford recently. And one of the things that I've always kind of
Devon Davis and Floyd Mayweather have finally agreed to take their feud to the next level, and what'll be more of an exhibition fight once Devon Davis retires from the sport. This seems so much like another Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul story, and if that's the case, fight fans will surely dislike the experience, as the precursor was nothing to write home about. However, Floyd Mayweather is still more active than Mike Tyson, seeing he has been participating in several exhibition fights since his retirement.
When they came back and was like, all right, you gotta fight, he was like, you gotta fight.
But Devon Davis might just be too strong and too athletic for Floyd Mayweather to keep up with. While this may seem unbelievable, it was the latest development between Devon Davis and his former mentor after their relationship got really bad last year. Tank then came out recently to speak about some very funny things Floyd Mayweather did to him some years back. This was what forced Mayweather out of his prolonged silence. And when he did, they decided to settle the feud in a way that'll see the both of them make some good money out of their quarrel.
He's still...
No, he's a legend. He's an icon. But it would be a big fight. But your boxing intelligence, Tank, if someone makes a mistake against you, it's over.
Yeah, but
Leo.
His arms long as hell. He's way taller than me, you know what I mean?
With Devon Davis looking to leave the sport in the coming months, an exhibition looks more feasible than ever before. But here's how they both found themselves in another back and forth. This time, they had a very public fallout, which Davis moved on from and became a better fighter from, and an even bigger star both in America and worldwide. Speaking on the Mr. J. Hill podcast, Davis opened up on what happened with Mayweather.
Ooh, if you don't mind. If you don't want to, it's fine.
Joseph Pedraza, my first world title. I was 16-0. I was 21.
Once you get around someone you look up to like Mayweather, you realize they're not who they portray themselves to be. It's a letdown, and it hurts. I just go my own way and do my own thing with Floyd. There were situations where he put me in lose-lose scenarios, like my first world title fight against Jose Pedraza. He then continued, I was 16-0, 21 years old, hadn't fought in or 8 months, and wasn't making much money, maybe $10K a fight. They came back and told me, I've got to fight him, that if I didn't fight him, I'd be shelved. I got evicted, and had to sell my car for sure. Floyd did that intentionally.
Time, and I haven't fought in like 7 or 8 months, and around that time, I wasn't making that much money. I probably was making like $10,000 a fight. So
I was letting other boxers know what was happening, giving them games, so they wouldn't end up there now when they say they want to fight me. It feels like betrayal. He added, I respect and appreciate him for what he did, but it was more like he gave me crumbs like $10K or $15K to help my mom out of the hood. That's not enough. She'd be back in the hood in months, and I'd be asking for more. I learned people can put you in a position where you always need them feeding, just enough to keep you coming back. When I was signed to the same management as Floyd, they started taking over my career.
It's crazy to not fight, you know, so when they came back and it was...
Boxing legend Mayweather guided Tank during the majority of his career, as Davis won world titles in multiple weight divisions and became widely regarded as one of the most exciting fighters in the sport. The two then parted ways in 2022, and things have seemingly turned hostile since then, with both men having fired insults in the opposite direction in the years that have followed. Davis has now revealed that his former mentor Mayweather once put him in a fight where he wanted Tank to lose, explaining to the J. Hill podcast how things transpired.
You gotta fight. He was like, you gotta fight this fighter, which is Joseph Pedraza. If you don't fight him, you're not fighting. You like sitting on.
Never good to hear these things. But at least Davis has opened up on what happened with Mayweather and his promotional company. These look so sad and disappointing. If Floyd Mayweather was guilty of doing them, however, it's surprising that Gervonta Davis didn't talk about this all along. What he had initially found issues with was Floyd Mayweather indirectly calling him out for flaunting his wealth, a claim which Mayweather denied. Mayweather and Davis worked closely together, with Mayweather aiming to mold Davis into a superstar. Their relationship was a very strong one, and they shared a mentor-protege bond. However, last April, a few days after the big fight between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, Mayweather went on a rant targeting an unnamed group of boxers. He called them out for not taking the craft seriously and instead focusing on their appearance in the ring. Pretty boy Floyd then used his career as a point of comparison. The athlete argued that they're only looking at the finished product of who he is as inspiration, not the work he put in to get there.
Y'all looking at the end. Y'all looking at the end results. Y'all not looking at this shit where y'all go look at the interview and Zab gonna tell y'all, you know, with me being champion.
A lot of times what these fighters are looking at. They're looking at Floyd with the cars. They're looking at Floyd being flashy. Mayweather expressed, "Man, listen, I made so many sacrifices. Y'all are looking at the end result. And when I was champion, having hundreds of millions in the bank, I still was on my grind in that gym. Y'all are worried about your outfits, how your boots look, worried about the wrong things. A lot of you fighters are living check to check." Later on, Floyd was asked about the intention behind this video, and then he replied talking about Gervonta Davis first.
Gervonta is ungrateful when it comes to you.
Well, my thing is, I've always been there for him.
My thing is, I've always been there for him from day one. We had a game plan, and my game plan was to help him become world champion and take Tank to that next level. And I've always been there for him over the years. I've always been positive, always said great things about him, always pushed him to be great. But over the years, he's constantly going on the internet to take a shot at Floyd, constantly being disrespectful, when all I've ever been was respectful to try to help this fighter go as far as he could possibly go. That's all I ever did.
And I've always been there for him. And just over the years, you can see I've always been positive, always said great things about him, always pushed him to be great.
He then referenced the famous video in which Gervonta Davis accused him of sending an attack. He denied Gervonta Davis's claims and explained his intentions, saying a lot of times they like to compare certain fighters, and then I say certain things, and they say, "Oh, he's hating." There's no difference from when I talked about the thing with Gervonta.
I need all fighters. I said I need all the young fighters that's making money in the sport of boxing. What I need you guys to do is do this.
For instance, when I said that I need all the young fighters making money in the sport of boxing, and what I need you guys to do is do this, whether it's Chrome Hearts, Louis, Mercedes, Gucci. We need to take our money and invest in real estate so that we can live the same great life when our careers are over. So I guess he took that as he's the only one that wears Chrome Hearts. He's the only one that wears Louis Vuitton. He's the only one that wears Mercedes. Last time I checked, we've got fighters all over the world that wear top flight clothes that make good money. Even the fighters that don't make good money find a way to fly jets and fly whips.
It's Chrome Heart, Gucci, Louis, Mercedes. We need to take our money and invest in real estate so that we can live that same great life when our careers are over.
However, he still had some good comments to make on Davis. Floyd was asked about the top 5 fighters in the lightweight division, and he responded as of right now, "Well, the two guys the biggest puncher I feel at 135 will probably be Gervonta Davis, but the most skillful fighter will be hands down Shocker Stevenson."
He want to fight the best they got out there. He's asking, can he fight the best? I believe his contract.
Talking about Shocker Stevenson, Floyd Mayweather compared his skillfulness to Pernell Whitaker, who wasn't the heaviest puncher, but had the skill set to take on the best and get the better of them. I believe his contract is coming to an end, so hopefully we can come together, and I can take him to that level he needs, and make the fights happen that he wants. Floyd Mayweather's relationship with Shocker Stevenson has been pointed as a major reason for the feud between Tank and Mayweather.
To an end, so hopefully we can come together and I can take him to that next level and give him the fights that he want and make the fights happen that he want.
In fact, Floyd recently showed up in Shocker's camp. What was even more interesting was that after Mayweather and Crawford met, Eddie Hearn was also at the training camp to support Shocker Stevenson, hence it was becoming a small meeting of the biggest names in boxing. They say that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but in the times we live in, and with so many witnesses to what happens, especially if celebrities are present, it is difficult to keep it secret. And if you add to that equation the name of Floyd Mayweather, it is impossible to hide it. It turns out that a recent meeting between Money and the famous promoter Eddie Hearn in a gym in Sin City sparks. And although the whole moment was wrapped in jocular comment.
So one day, somebody asked, because you know I don't have social media on my phone. Yeah. So they showed me Eddie. Eddie was like, Floyd Mayweather.
It should be remembered that Hearn was repeating some time ago in every space he was given that Floyd Mayweather had no money, or at least not the money he claims to have, and that this was why he was performing or looking for exhibition fights. Money earned so much during his stellar boxing career, pocketing in excess of $1.2 billion in total earnings, including from his lucrative paydays against Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor. Widespread reports indicate that Mayweather's current total net worth is around $400 million, which has allowed him to live an extravagant lifestyle outside of the squared circle. Despite retiring from the professional ranks in 2017, Mayweather has been fighting in a series of
exhibition. No, Eddie don't believe that now.
Yeah. But Eddie will say some shit like that. Man.
Eddie will say some shit, but one thing.
The boxing legend has repeatedly insisted he is earning 8-figure payday from each, even going as far as to nickname them legalized bank robberies. But when explaining why he was accepting the showman-style events, he insisted it was to continue to build his generational wealth. Matchroom boxing promoter Hearn made the suggestion in multiple interviews that Mayweather's net worth wasn't the same as many expected due to his plush purchases. He said, "I don't think he's got the money." He says, "That's what I think. I don't think he needs the money. But you know when you've got that lifestyle when he's spending."
Me and Eddie got it clear, didn't we, Eddie? Yeah. One thing, me and my buddy got it clear.
We said as long as it's 10 or 20, no problem.
The climax came when Money ran into him in Las Vegas and confronted him about it. The undefeated former boxer claimed that Hearn sometimes makes those kinds of comments, and that they had even already cleared it up. So they began to joke as if the news had been real to make jokes and to throw themselves at each other again, while their respective groups of friends celebrated what was said by both the pair crossed paths in Las Vegas in a boxing gym, as they watched some sparring as they were both in town for the fight between Diego Pacho and Steve Nelson. Mayweather jokingly began in a conversation. "So one day somebody said, because you know, I don't have social media on my phone, so they showed me Eddie."
Can't be less than 10. Because then we're struggling for money.
I had to show Eddie some of the accounts.
Eddie was like Floyd Mayweather Jr. ain't got no money. That's why he is doing exhibitions. Eddie doesn't believe that I know he says some stuff like that. But me and Eddie got it clear. Mayweather had a smug grin across his face, as did Hearn, and the pair then shook hands. The promoter then responded, "Yeah, as long as it is 10 or 20. There is no problem. Anything less. It can't be less than 10. The gag sent Mayweather bursting out laughing with a member of his team, as it was abundantly clear there were no hard feelings.
Imagine how much money Floyd Mayweather would have made if I was his promoter back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Mayweather Jr. mentioned that he had even shown his bank accounts to Hearn Mayweather, then clarified, "Listen, I had to show Eddie some of my accounts her turn." Then concluded, "Imagine how much Floyd Mayweather would have made if I was his promoter." Do you know what I'm saying? Mayweather is clearly not short of cash, and it is no wonder given his remarkable spending spree in recent months. The boxing legend has invested heavily in real estate, including his biggest ever $42 million purchase of a series of apartment blocks.
Bringing the people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately,
They say that many a true word is spoken in justice, but at least in reality. And in the light of the facts, this does not apply to Money, who remains one of the richest former sportsmen in the world. It is currently unclear if he has any more exhibitions lined up, but he has continued to be linked to lucrative return bouts. Hearn never promoted Mayweather, but likely wishes he did given the star power of the American.
62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings.
It's a few building. Also, another thing many keep saying about Tank and Mayweather is that Floyd is insecure about Tank's success. And as such, he wants to stop Tank from being the greatest ever. And that's another debate that'll keep being a topic in the boxing world, is the greatest of all time debate, with many disagreeing with Floyd Mayweather. Roy Jones Jr. and Floyd Mayweather Jr. are two boxing legends who have left an indelible mark on the sport. Both are widely regarded as the best pound-for-pound fighters of their respective eras, sparking endless debates about who truly deserves the title of greatest of all time.
A person does stay undefeated that long, so I respect it to a degree, yeah. Is it a 50-0 that I think, oh, he the greatest fighter of all time? Nah.
Mayweather, with his perfect 50-0 record, is considered by many to be the greatest pound-for-pound boxer in history. His impenetrable defense and ability to control the pace of a fight made him a unique spectacle. Additionally, his career was marked by extraordinary commercial success, with 4 of the 5 highest-grossing pay-per-view events in boxing history. However, Roy Jones Jr., an undisputed champion across 4 weight classes, holds a different opinion. In an interview with Real Life Productions, when asked if he considered Mayweather the GOAT, Jones Jr. gave a simple but emphatic response: no slick, but punishing. Jones was the first man to win a middleweight world title and go on to do this.
Shabby was 80-0 at one point. 80. He could have retired at 80-0. You go ever top that? No. He just didn't stop, right? You got the 50 and you stopped because of Rocky Marciano. Right. So Rocky died.
Mayweather famously finished his campaign with a 50-0 perfect record, holding belts in 5 divisions, and dazzling with a defense that is widely considered the very best in the business. He was also one of the most lucrative stars the sport has seen, claiming 4 of the top 5 biggest selling pay-per-view events. Speaking to Real Life Productions, Jones Jr. was asked if money Mayweather's record meant he was the greatest of all time. He said no, elaborating. Jones said, "There were more impressive campaigns out there. You have to respect anything a person does to stay undefeated that long. I respect it to a degree. Yeah, is it 50 that I think he's the greatest fighter of all time now?" Julio Cesar Chavez went 80Z at one.
If he wasn't there, he probably would have kept going too. So and then at the end, you fight a guy that's 0-0 for number 50. How can I respect it? Yeah. You feel me? Right. So, I mean, I love Floyd, don't get it wrong, I'm not hating on Floyd, but come on, bro, you fight a guy that's 0-0, kind of.
Jones then took issue in particular with Mayweather's farewell bout, a 10th round stoppage of UFC superstar Conor McGregor in his boxing debut. In the end, the debate over who is the GOAT will likely continue, fueled by the unique accomplishments and philosophies of these two icons of the sport. On the show, Floyd Mayweather was asked about his thoughts after Roy Jones Jr. claimed he deserved to be called the best ever TB. More than anyone else responding, he said, "Well, everybody for starters. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I'm glad Roy Jones feels that way about himself. Every fighter that gave the sport of boxing their whole life and sacrificed a lot inside that squared circle, they should feel that way. So if